Hello everyone, thank you for taking time to watch this video. Today I'm going to explain the deck list of my aggressive variant of Enel, which has allowed me to become the highest ranked Enel player on the OPCG sim as of today. Hopefully it will help you improve your results with this deck. After I'm going to show you some gameplay and explain my decisions as I make them. This is my first video, so feel free to suggest any different ways I should format these videos in the future. Let's get to the deck list. I will put the pastable list in the description or comments. Enel's leader ability allows you to take life at the beginning of the game, allowing you to benefit from triggers and save counter for things like saving the board and staying alive, of course. You still need a life to lose to use the ability, so you want to stay on at least one life by countering or healing during your turn. I play this 2-cost Shirahoshi because it is a strong cheap blocker you can play when you have Dawn to spare, which happens often. For example, when you are going second during your first turn or just have 2 Dawn to spare. Against many matchups it's basically another life for 2 Dawn, as they cannot remove it or it will heal you, which is a positive as you benefit from triggers. Zeus is a newer addition to the deck from OP10, which has 2000 counter and KOs a 5-cost character at the cost of taking a life, which is not really a cost when you have 2 or more life, as you want to be on 1 life to make use of your leader effect anyway. You can also think of it as draw 1 card basically. Beige is a staple of almost every yellow deck. It has 2000 counter and stops an opponent's character or leader from attacking on trigger. It can also be played out as a body if it's your only option. Some matchups it can help you clear board, go for game, or be put in life with Katakuri. Kikunajo is a body which will usually trigger out of life due to you wanting to hit face with this deck. Your opponent will likely take the first 1 or 2 hits with no counter, thinking it's the correct play against Enel, which is usually not played in this aggro variation. Her on KO effect is nice Oswell healing you, which can result in more triggers. Frankie is a 2000 counter which often will trigger out of life as a body and draw you a card. Worst case scenario, you aren't on 1 life or less and you have the option of drawing an extra card if you want to dig deeper into your deck. I recommend not doing that if you are running low on counter in hand though. Hawkins is a body you can play out, which will of course be causing pressure to your opponent with swings every turn if they do not remove it, but if they KO it they are punished by having a life trashed, which is why it is so strong in this aggressive version of Enel. The trigger is also very strong, allowing you to dig 2 cards deeper in your deck, but if I would prefer to play it next turn I would of course not use the trigger. Nami is a strong removal tool which allows you to discard a card with a trigger which you have plenty of and KO a 5 or less. Removal with a body attached is a good addition to this deck. You can also use the Egghead 5-cost Luffy, but I personally prefer this due to being able to KO a 5 and sticking to the board, which applies pressure. The trigger is alright, but I would only use it if you are removing a big threat as you are going 2 in hand without a body. Sabo is a new addition to the deck from OP12. It allows you to take a life then draw 2 trash 1. You could think this is just a worse version of the EB02 Sanji, but I believe that it is better as it allows you to draw 3 cards instead of 2, and again this deck likes being on low life. You also have the added benefit of gaining +3 cost while being below 3 life, which makes it much harder to remove for some decks. Kuma is another new addition from OP12. It allows you to discard a card from your hand and heal once and gains 2 cost. It also lets you heal once when it is KO'd. It is quite expensive though currently, sadly, lol. Katakuri is a versatile card which lets you put an 8 cost or lower into the owner's life. Usually I use it to remove a large body the opponent has, such as Mihawk, Kid, or Purple Katakuri. Many of your characters have triggers, so you can benefit from them by putting them into life, like Kiku, which lets you just get her back into play straight away. Kid is a large body which allows you to rest him and then trash an opponent's life on play. This synergizes with the deck's aggressive game plan. It also allows you to draw 1 and trash 1 at the end of your turn if your opponent has 2 or less life, which they should at this point of the game. Doflamingo is a nice new card from OP12. When you have 2 life or less, which you likely will be, it gains Rush, which is more versatile than Kid, as you can attack life or clear board if necessary. Unless you are being mega starved, which I think is good, as of course you don't need to deal with the pressure of keeping your last life. He also has the added benefit of healing, similar to Kikunajo on KO. 10 Enel is the star of this deck. Its addition makes the deck has turned it into a meta contender and also makes many matchups a lot more winnable now. It has rush, and when it attacks, if you have 1 or less life, you can trash a card from hand to heal. So every turn if this sticks, you are able to heal, allowing you to go to 0 and be able to make other plays, not having to worry about playing a card that heals you. You can use your Dawn to pressure their life more or clear board instead. You're the one who should disappear is a staple of this deck. You can discard a card on counter and gain 3000 power during that battle. This makes your bricks in hand, which this deck runs a lot of, into counter, so you are less likely to lose from being punished by the amount of cards without counter in this deck. The trigger allows you to heal and discard a card if this was your last life, which it likely will be as you stay on 1 life the whole game. People usually overreact to this, but really it's more likely to happen than not, as you are constantly taking your last life and it's a 4 of. A neat trick is that if you have 0 cards in hand, you are still able to heal as the discarding happens after healing, which is the same as the leader effect. So if this is your last life and you have 0 cards in hand, you can heal twice with 0 cost basically. Here is proof. I am currently the highest ranked Enel player on the competitive client. None of the players higher than me play Enel. I could probably get to rank 1, but I would just lose it to people who play this game too often, and you lose like triple the amount you gain at this rank as you are forced to play people lower than you, so it doesn't feel great to play LOL. So we are against Blackbeard. With the star version of this deck, I think it's a very difficult matchup, but with this aggressive version it's a lot easier, as you can get them to 1 life before their 10 cost Blackbeard, and even win sometimes before that if you trigger out a few characters. Our opponent let us go first, which I think is wrong, as we have primarily even numbered cost cards, so we will be able to play out our characters earlier. I did not mulligan this hand, as we have a pretty good curve with Hawkins into Kuma into Kata into NL. Katakuri isn't preferred in this MU, as they will likely turn off on plays on that turn. I'll just pass as I have nothing to play. I'll take this swing and we get a Hawkins trigger, which I will gladly do as we have 1 already. I will trash Kata as I already have 1, and it isn't that good in this matchup anyway. I'm basically always going to take my life, as I want to see more cards and benefit from triggers and my leader ability. I'll swing and he takes. Then I'll play Hawkins, applying pressure. He swings and I take and get a beige trigger. Sadly I cannot use it. He then plays a Kuzan, which is a strong card, allowing him to trash himself to draw 1 and play a 5 or less Blackbeard pirate from the trash. He currently has nothing in trash though. I swing with Hawkins and he counters. Likely he knows my game plan by now. I attach 2 Dawn and swing and he takes. I play out Hawkins this turn instead of Kuma, which could heal me. My reasoning is Hawkins allows me to swing larger this turn and applies more pressure, as if he wants to remove it, his life is getting trashed. He swings into Hawkins, which I happily take as it gets a life trashed. Then he removes the other Hawkins, which puts him down 2 life. Me personally, I think leaving the Hawkins on board is better than losing 2 life, but I do not play Teach. He plays out a Burgess, which is a scary card for me as I can't remove it with my Nami. He then does not swing at me. I think he is scared of a Frankie or Kikunajo coming out, which I respect. I am able to swing with leader, which he of course counters out of, and then place my Rush Daffy, which doesn't need an on play. He takes. This is one of the reasons it is more flexible than Eustace Mid. I now have a large body on board and I was able to take a life from him. He plays another Van Augur by the 5 cost Kuzan Oswell as stronger. He needs to use 5 cards to get rid of my 1 Doflamingo, which will also heal me. He plays a blocker and negates on plays, which means I cannot win this turn unless he is bricked up. I think swinging and then playing the 10 cost Enel, which does not need on play to gain rush, is the best play here. I get a card out of hand and then remove the blocker. He plays his 10 cost teach down, negating my leader and character. It is a big problem as now he needs one less swing to win. I have a lot of counter though, so it's okay. I'm trying to stay at 1 life so I can heal to 2 next turn with 10 cost Enel. I swing with leader, he counters. I swing with Enel, which is buffed and heals me, which he has to block, and lose his teach as he has 0 in hand. He just concedes straight away, quite a bad board state for him and hand size difference. If he didn't use black hole he could have saved his teach, but then I could have used on plays. He must have been scared of that. Let's get to the next game. We are now going against Kuzan. I don't think the matchup is that bad. His ability to bottom deck to get around our on KO effects are quite annoying though. I keep this hand as it has quite a few cards we will be able to play on curve going second. I don't think going first was a good idea for this Kuzan unless he wants to play Gravity Blade or Borsellino earlier, I guess. I play out Shirahoshi. He plays out Sengoku, which is a strong card, basically allowing him to filter his hand and search 2 navy cards. He swings and I take. Against blue decks I try to not go over 7 cards as that's when putting is quite devastating. Losing 2 or less cards is fine as they have to waste their turn playing the pudding. I swing and he takes and play my Hawkins over Kikunajo as he isn't on 3 life, so she won't get value for sure. He plays out Usopp, which I have seen some Kuzans use, which plays out a 6k vanilla. I think it's kinda cope. Personally, I have never lost to a Kuzan who has played him out. I swing with Hawkins and my leader he gets a trigger, sadly removing my Hawkins. At this point I am honestly worried about Gravity Blade, so I don't play Kikunajo as it would get no value. I play Nami to remove board at least and trash my Kikunajo, which has no counter anyway. As I predicted, he Gravity Blades, then he swings into life, which I am okay with taking. He swings with Usopp, which is a misplay as it gives me the option of swinging into him. I swing into Usopp, but he counters, then I play my mid, trashing his life and allowing me to filter my hand. All he does is play Garp into Kuzan, which freezes my kid. He doesn't swing into me, probably because if I get a trigger he could just lose right here. I swing into leader and he just takes, meaning he misplayed or just has no counter, so I'm just going to be fully aggressive and play Enel, healing and taking his last life. He concedes. I think he had the 1 cost counter event in hand but didn't want to use it on the 5k swing. Anyways, GG's, on to the next game. Alright, for our final game we are against the unbanned Sakazuki. If your opponent is a good pilot and understands the matchup, it can be one of the more difficult ones. As it is like Lucci, but harder as they can get around your on KO effects with bottom decking. We want to apply constant pressure so they can't get to the point where they start looping Mancheri Rebecca and set up a 10 cost Kuzan, which we are not going to be able to remove, and they will be able to constantly clear our board. He chooses second, which makes sense, he has many even numbered cards and he is denying our even curve. I keep the hand as we have many options to play out. We do not have a lot of counter, but that does not matter so much in this matchup as they are not focused on killing us fast, just clearing our board. He gets Hound Blaze. We attack into life, which he takes. He plays out Brook, which is not much of a problem. Since he did not play Kuzan, I would prefer to play out Kikunajo, which will apply pressure and keep our hand size up. He plays out Hina, then Hound blazes my Kikunajo, so sadly we do not get the heal. He leaves us on 2 life, probably afraid of triggers. I play Kuma, which heals me and also gets +2 cost, making it harder for him to remove. He's playing pretty slow average black leader SMH. All that just to not remove my Kuma SMH. He attacks me, which I'm fine with taking. I'm just going to attack face, as I'm fine with leaving vanilla bodies on board, as I'm not afraid of him being able to kill me. Then I trash his last life with mid. I attack with Kuma after playing kid, which is usually wrong, as you want to give your opponent the least amount of info while giving yourself the most before playing anything. But he has 1 life left, so if he takes it, the kid will do nothing. He is trying to go for game, but I have so much counter in hand. He is cooked. And that's how you beat Sakazuki with Enel. Just hit them until they are dead. Thank you for watching this video. I'm grateful for your time. If you have any suggestions for videos, such a guide on a part of the One Piece game which you can use universally, leave them in the comments. Goodbye.